Exactly.
Affordability, accessibility, and availability is the top. Okay, availability,
Then
accessibility,
then
affordability, and then the nutritious value. That's really important, because I think that's the part that mostly we don't even speak about. If you look at the current situation, I think some couple of years ago, we came to a point where Nigerians go to maybe piles of where there are insects to go and get remnant that those insects stored in their own kind of storage. That's really very difficult to even fathom in the first place. In your view, what is the most misunderstood part of hunger in Nigeria? Is it availability, affordability, or the nutrition?
Yeah, if we can talk on this aspect, before then, we need to understand how the food security is categorized. We have food security at household level, followed by food security at community level, followed by food security at the national level. So it started from the grassroots, the household level. First of all, what is the aim of a particular a household head?
A family,
family. Is he a civil servant or is he a typical farmer per se? For a civil servant to have access to a particular food at affordable rate, he has to wait per se at the end of the month. For a typical farmer who has been in the season farming, bringing down the stock to his warehouse, he has availability at a certain period of a time. Let's say we categorize it normally 4 months. So you see, in this scenario, you can differentiate food availability of a typical farmer and food availability of a civil servant. So the most important aspect in that scenario for a civil servant is affordability. When am I expecting my salary to go into the market? Food is already available in the market, depending on your taste, depending on your quality. So to a typical civil servant, affordability matters a lot. He has to have the means, the earnings before he goes into the market to start buying or stocking what he needed. But for a typical farmer who normally has food in abundance per se, normally we do categorize those that are having what will take them during the lean period for almost 4 months. So to a typical farmer, availability is there, but the main issue per se, maybe he has exhausted all his income, paying for labor, paying for fertilizer inputs before he even come to harvesting. So to a typical farmer, affordability is there. He need to afford a cash to pay for labor before he goes to the farm. So these are the different things. For a farmer, affordability is
a thing to consider.
For a civil servant who needs money before he goes to the market, so he has to wait for a salary before he goes and purchase the food.
And for the national life?
For the national life, for the national life, we look into it on the quality, the nutrition aspect of the food. Because when you are providing a quality food, you must ensure that it contains all the categories or elements of food, carbohydrate, protein, vitamins. So in national context, it has to look on the nutrition. First of all, the priority is what quality food is available on the table for the households to afford or to have access to. So that is it.
Thank you. In practical terms, what does a food system look like when it is failing? What are the early warning signs we should not ignore?
Let me just give you a typical example. We have the NIMET.
Yes, Nigeria Meteorological Agency.
I must commend this agency. Before the commencement or before the onset of farming season, they do give out their own reports. These are the projections for each and every state. We have states that will have their rainfall at the early onset. We have states which will have a drought period, we call it drought spell, Then we have states whereby we are going to experience, let's say, runoffs for the water bodies or for the river areas that are there. So based on that, it is expected that when NIMED revealed or provide such vital information to each and every state, then you check on. Let me just give you a typical example. I've had a program last week in one of the radio stations in Gombe to give a summary of the scenario for 2026 wet season in the entire northeastern states. So, based on the reports revealed by NIMED to the northeastern states, our raining season it's going to be a medium term.
Okay.
It is expected that the entire northeastern states should have an average rainfall of 90 to 120 days. So based on this signal, areas of Adamawa, areas of Taraba are going to experience heavy downpour,
rainfall.
Yeah, that might even cause damages to our farms.
That's flooding.
Flooding.
Yeah.
So based on the recommendations given, it is expected of each and every farmer from the northeastern region to look for extra early maturing variety of a particular seed. If I'm a maize farmer, I already know that I will experience 90 to 120
20 days
of rainfall.
3 to 4 months.
Yeah, 3 to 4 months. So I'm expected to have extra early maturing variety. If I'm staying in a flooding area, it is expected for me to look for a seed, especially those rice farmers under the lower land rice farmers should have rice that will adopt stress. Then for areas like Borno, who will have their own short-term rainfall, so there will be early seizure of rainfall in Borno and Yobe State. So they are expected to have a drought-tolerant variety of a particular crop. So with these early warnings, if farmers and the system will follow informations or reports provided by agencies like NIMED, there is going to be food availability. We are going to plan accordingly. If I know that my area will not have a higher or a longer duration of rainfall, it is not expected of me to plant a crop or a variety that will take a longer or a period number of days before maturity. So it is very crucial for a farmer, whether at household level, whether at community level, or whether at national level, before even going into the farmland for a particular season, we are heading towards 2026 wet season. Get the report that was provided by NIMED. Look into it. Do I fall under medium-term rainfall, or short-term, or under long-term? Then the next step is, what variety of crop
can we plant?
Expected to plant? If my raining season or the raining period is medium-term, I must definitely look for an extra early maturing variety. If flooding is expected in my own state, stress-tolerant variety, especially for sorghum and rice, is expected. So we normally do have deficit or shortfall in our harvest or in our productivity because we do not follow the guidance or the reports being given by agencies like NIMED at the onset of the
Who is supposed to take this report down to the grassroots? For instance, maybe a local farmer in far, maybe Kaltungo or somewhere in Beliri is not able to understand the complexity of such reports. Whose responsibility is to take that information down to the grassroots to make sure they understand, digest, and be able to use the information to their good?
The responsibility is on the government.
Government at what level?
We have state ministries of agriculture. When such information is made, it is made available to them. So we have what we call extension agents. They are the bridges between the farmers
and the government.
So whenever we have such kind of reports, it is important for each and every state ministry of agriculture at their own level to organize what we call a step-down training to the extension agents. Then liaise with media stations like you, radio stations, television stations, organized programs in different versions of languages, Hausa, English, and the tribes. So based on that, we keep on educating farmers. We keep on creating awareness. If I am located in so place, for this year, it is not expected of me to plant such kind of crop because this is how the scenario is going to be. If I'm based in a riverine area, flooding is expected. So I'm not expected to plant such kind of crop based on the guidance. So the mandate is on the government under the State Ministry of Agriculture in collaboration with the extension agent available in the State Ministry.
Yes, thank you. So would you say our food system is failing as it is?
It's definitely failing, failing seriously. It's failing because let me give you a scenario. Under normal circumstances, it is not expected of Nigeria to be importing food crop of any kind from any part of the world. Let me give you a typical example. I'm from the Northeast. I came from Bombay. Whenever you visit Adamawa State, on daily basis, you will be seeing big cargoes, shipments of paddy rice coming from Cameroon Republic. After all, we have abundant land and resources, if we can invest, provide enough seedlings to our local farmers, give them adequate training and best production practices, we can succeed. We can feed the entire nation and even export the surplus to other countries. But I see no reason whereby Nigeria will be importing maize or paddy rice from Cameroon Republic. Look at what happened with Niger Republic. For the past 2 years, they banned exportation of any form of their agricultural produce. Those that are going ahead of Salah rams, now initially they used to get cheaper rams from Niger Republic, but now they have closed all their borders when it comes to exportation of agricultural produce or their livestock. So first of all, you make the system to work effectively by ensuring that each and every citizen of that particular nation. Food is very crucial. We have a saying that food availability or abundance makes a nation partly secured, especially when issues of social securities are being discussed. But the lives and livelihood of people becomes under threat if such
is not available.
Privilege is not
available.
If the government can invest much amount of resources, people will be busy into their farmlands.
Do you think government can really put out the kind of investment the agri sector
we have the resources. We have all that it takes to produce more than enough. Nigeria was the first country that gave seedlings of palm oil to Malaysia. Now Malaysia is the world's largest exporter of palm oil. I have one of my professors from Ahmadu Bello University. He led the team in taking the seedlings those years. But now Malaysia is the largest exporter of what? Palm oil. And the genesis, the source of the seedlings is Nigeria. And one funny thing to tell you is that we have off-takers of agricultural commodities, basically from India, from China, that are there virtually everywhere in the country. They will tell you, in terms of quality tests, Nigerian maize, Nigerian millet, Nigerian sorghum, Nigerian soybean, Nigerian cowpea or beans is the best globally. So,
and we're wasting this
we are wasting
opportunity.
this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Dr. ABUBAKAR. Let's take a quick break. When we return, we'll continue the conversation in more bigger way, in the way that will be solution-driven, and Nigerians, ordinary Nigerians, people in communities, and the national life or the federal government can take a listen and get solutions in a way that it will benefit the country. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, it's still Spotlight on S24 television. We've been speaking to a food security analyst, Dr. ABUBAKAR Sani Aliyu, who's been talking to us on what it means to say a nation is food secure, the element you think about when it comes to food security, which includes availability, accessibility, affordability, and the nutritious value. And we'll quickly go into the way this affects ordinary Nigerians or people in the country. When a family reduces meals from 3 to 2 or 2 to 1, what does that do over month to productivity, learning, and the well-being of the citizen?
Yeah, by doing so, we start considering ourselves being food insecure. Let me just give you a typical example whereby a situation in those areas prone to insecurity. I'm a victim. I used to farm in one local government area in Kaduna State called Giwa.
Mm-hmm.
Just of recent, in our community or the village where we normally farm, before going into land preparation, we were mandated by bandits
to pay
levy.
Illegal levy.
Preparation, yeah. I think we raised amounting to almost 36 million naira just for land preparation. The neighboring villages that couldn't raise such amount, they were not allowed
to farm
that very year. So after planting, at the point of harvest, we were asked
to pay another levy
of 36 million naira, which we do so. Don't forget that immediate village after our farming areas cannot afford to do that. They are patiently waiting for the harvest so that they can have what we call the zakat. At least on each and every 10 bag, you give them 1 bag. So when we made the final payment at the point of harvest, we were sent a letter on distribution formula of our output.
By who?
By the bandits. That 3 portion of what you produce is going to them.
3 portions?
Yeah, 3 portions.
If you divide it to how many?
4. Yeah, 3 over 4. So if you have 20 bags, 15 bags is going. You'll be left with only 5 bags, despite the fact that you
paid levies
for land preparation and also for harvesting. Later on, the negotiation was set on, then we interchanged. They go with 1 over 4 of what we produced. So
when was this?
It was around 2018, 2019. So the neighboring villages, some of them moved to extreme end of the bush to execute land preparation, to partake in the just millet farming, unknowingly that the bandits are having their own agents of spying, looking into what was going
informant.
On. Yeah, informants. So later on, at the point of harvest for that millet, they set on the entire farmlands
on fire.
It does not happen only in Kaduna. It happens in Niger. It happens in Kwara. It happens in Katsina.
So, if farmers like you, who are well-read,
yeah,
and who are citizens of Nigeria, let me see, who knows that the primary responsibilities of every government is to secure lives and properties, pay levies to illegal people. What do you expect of the ordinary farmers? What action did you take after that?
Let me tell you about on each and every discussion with them, we do report to the
security agencies. What was the feedback?
But they feel no any action. In fact, there was a body amongst the top security agencies that said we are supporting you because if you cannot farm, if they will not allow you to farm, hunger is a devil. So it's better for you to pay and you farm. So those neighboring villages who could not farm, they started coming to our farm areas to get what they will eat. Initially, under normal circumstances, when they were farming, they used to have 4 to 5 times of
what you
eating. No.
What they would eat.
Like we have our normal meal of a morning breakfast, afternoon lunch, and dinner in the night. In their own case, they eat 5 to 6 times in a day. But as a result that they could not farm that very year, it has to be that they are doing 100. Or
011.
The male gender in the family will allow only the younger ones and
to
the female
eat
gender
once.
to eat. Then they will go and start scavenging for other
means.
Food. Yeah. So the system actually needs to look into such kind of scenario.
To take action.
We had a bad experience per se.
So are you still farming there?
No.
You're no longer farming.
I received a letter that I should not even be seen in that area. So we know what it takes for.
Did you document all of this?
Yeah, I have done that. I have people in the system from the top security agencies of which I reported to. It's just that I was advised not to farm again or not to visit that particular area. So insecurity has been one of the major factors that contributed to
food insecurity.
Yeah, food insecurity, whereby you see a typical household who can feed himself 3 times or 5 times in a day, but now cannot afford
1 square meal.
1 square meal.
This is disastrous.
Has been
it's a ticking time bomb, or what would you call it?
Factor.
So I think this is really big. You mentioned system.
Yeah.
And if we're building system, it's not like there is no laws, there is no constitution, but this system, in what ways or what strategies do you think we can employ to build the system that works already? If you consider that these bandits are in numbers. For instance, some people will say there shouldn't be dialogue with them, they should be killed. If you kill them, they've got disciples all over the place. So what system or what strategy do you think we can employ to nip the problem in the bud and create a system that would be able to make Nigerians feel empowered to be able to take care of themselves when people that are illegally occupying or doing things comes? They've got the right to do the needful to get rid of all of this.
So it's a collective responsibility to say. For instance, for you to tackle such kind of insecurity that affects the farming population, first of all, it has to start from the grassroots level. You sit down with the traditional rulers, engage local vigilantes from their communities, train them at their own level. That is from that aspect. Then
but then bandits operate with sophisticated
they
weapons.
Operate with sophisticated, but you need to have first-hand information. They are moving in motorcycles. Before they reach for instance,
their destination
village C, they have to maybe they have to pass village A, village
B.
Let's have a concept of informant, well-trained local vigilantes that they can immediately send.
So we shouldn't call them informant. We can call them intel people.
Yeah, we should call them intel, so that they can immediately send a signal to the police or to the
security agencies.
Then secondly, the government needs to improve the welfare of its own
citizens.
Security, because part of the experience that we had, it takes 3 to 4 hours
for response,
for the bandits to even get into our farmlands.
Invade.
Yeah. So we keep on sending signal. They are in so village. We received information from so village. Immediate response and signal is being sent to the necessary authority. But they will keep on saying, we don't have fuel to even fuel our vehicle.
Disastrous.
Yeah. So you see, it's a collective responsibility for both the government and the local traditional rulers. Let them harmonize so that the system
would work. Okay, if a politician says we'll achieve food security, what should citizens ask immediately? What metrics should define success in that regard?
If a politician says we'll achieve food security, definitely I can't say it's a lie. It's a common ideology of
promise.
Politicians. It's a promise that normal distribution of rice and spaghetti is not there. That will not end hunger. What a typical household farmer expects from a politician is subsidized inputs. That is number one.
Is that sustainable?
It's sustainable. If you can make fertilizer to be affordable at a subsidized rate, to be given before the onset of the season, that will make a significant change. Secondly, what we neglect, but when you get into even the neighboring countries, the system differs from our own. That is affordable and free interest loan. For each and every farmer to operate at optimum level, he needs a cashback. You can pay for labor. Now family labor is not available per se. Even if it is available, I cannot just take my immediate family members for free just because I do provide the necessary foodstuff
for them.
We are going to eat the harvest or the output with them. I must support them financially. So we need a cash backing, especially interest-free loans. I'm supporting a small-scale farmer who operates, let's say, 2 hectares of land. What are the basic requirements? If I am not financing him directly, where are the sources of quality seeds? Where are the sources of quality fertilizer? Where are the sources of quality agrochemical? I can finance him through those sources so that he can just go and get affordable inputs.
Yes, Dr. Due to time, we need to quickly wrap this up. Let's add one more question and a simple answer before we go to rapid fire and call it a wrap. If Nigeria does not fix food security, what does that mean for national stability over the next decade, especially because in this situation, once there is any cry from Nigerians, the government, the next thing you do is share rice or share some staple food, which is not sustainable. So if we do not fix food security now, what does that mean for national stability over the next decade?
We have this saying, a hungry man
is an angry man.
Is an angry man. And once you are hungry, the devil is everywhere within you. You can have a mindset that you can even go and execute something which is illegal and against the law system and against the law. And based on track records, all these atrocities that are happening, when you look into genesis of Boko Haram and so many other vices, it started from hunger. So it is very, very important for the government to look into it. We have the resources, as I made mention earlier. We have all that it takes to fit each and every Nigerian.
Thank you so much, Doctor. And quickly, let's loosen up, and it's the final rapid fire, we call it.
Yeah.
Short answers, yes or no, or just a simple sentence.
Okay.
Food availability or food affordability? What is Nigeria's biggest crisis today?
Food affordability.
Input or insecurity? What hits farmers in a very bad way?
Inputs.
One crop Nigeria should treat as a national strategic asset.
Maize.
And one silent killer of food security Nigerians ignore.
Climate change.
One myth Nigerians believe about farmers.
Farming is just an ordinary profession, just to produce what you will eat, but it's beyond that.
One policy mistake Nigeria repeats every year when it comes to farming.
Yeah, that is misuse of information.
Data. Data or politics? What controls decision more?
Yeah, data.
And one thing young people must understand about agriculture.
Agriculture is a venture.
It's a venture. And finally, finish this line.
Yeah.
Food security is national security because
food availability or abundance makes a nation partly secured.
Thank you so much, Dr. ABUBAKAR SANI, for joining us on this edition of Spotlight On. And today, the conversation leaves us with a very difficult truth that we need to ingest. Food security is not about farming more. It is about building systems, production, storage, transport, markets, data, governance, and trust, because a country that cannot protect the dignity of a meal cannot fully protect the dignity of its people. This has been Spotlight On, only on S24 television. I am Halim Abdullah, and today we leave you with this question. If food is the first security of a nation, what kind of future are we building when food becomes a luxury? And bye for now.